Have you ever wondered about the differences between Cary and Apex? That is what we're going to be talking about today, kind of comparing the two towns if you're thinking about living in one of them and can't decide what might be a better fit. Hopefully this video will be helpful for you today, so stick around.
All right, so the flow of the video, we're gonna talk about the similarities between Cary and Apex. We're gonna bunch it into different categories like housing and amenities and location. And then we're gonna talk about the differences as well. And then we're gonna declare which part we think is the winner in Apex versus Cary. So as far as the location goes, so if you're looking at a map, Cary is directly west of Raleigh, directly south of Durham. Apex, right beside Cary, but a little further south, so it's southwest of Raleigh and directly south of Durham as well. So as far as location goes, I mean, they're obviously roughly in the same spot. Apex is a little further out, but it's not gonna make a substantial difference when it comes to, you know, driving time to pretty much anywhere in the triangle. It's not gonna be a huge difference.
Yeah, and I think it depends on what part of Apex you're in too, because you know, you have part of Apex that touches Cary, and then you have part of Apex that hits more like Holly Springs. So there are parts that I think feel significantly further out than others. So yes and no to what you were saying, but I think in general, if you're thinking about Cary, it's not like Apex is that much further. Exactly. If you're thinking about Raleigh versus Apex, now you're talking about a more considerable driving distance change. So when we're thinking about amenities in Cary and Apex, both really have a lot to offer. When you are in Cary, you know, you've got tons of parks, greenway trails, shopping. Same in Apex, but I would say, you know, Cary probably has a few more distinct places and a few more greenway trails for sure. Yeah,
so as far as the distinction between two, like Cindy said, both areas excel at it. Cary excels at it, Apex excels, especially at like the nature aspect of this. But when you're looking at the mileage, so Cary has about 80 miles worth of greenway trails. Apex has 11 miles. So there's a pretty substantial difference. And if something like a greenway trail is important to you, then Cary definitely wins that conversation. Even with the amount of parks. I mean, Cary has, I think, upwards to 30 parks in Cary. So it's just, there's a lot to offer there. And then when you're looking at shopping as well, Cary just has a lot of more notable shopping centers like the Fenton, Waverly Place. It's getting a new upgrade soon. So there's just a lot of options in Cary, but they both really excel at it. I would say Cary excels a little more.
Yeah, I think so. And Fenton is new, and so it just it's got like that shiny object appeal to it, where it's like, oh, this is a really fun like spot to like go meet up with friends and hang out. Just like from an aesthetic standpoint, I think it looks really cool and modern. You know, and Waverly Place is really nice too, and there's a lot of good restaurants there. In Apex, you know, I'd say your biggest shopping area is probably going to be Beaver Creek Commons, which is going to have like Target and Panera Bread, Chick-fil-A. Zach always makes fun of my Chick-fil-A comments, but you know, you got to know where they are. They're all kind of in there, like any commercial spot chain-wise that you can think of is going to be there. I think one of the other big things that I noticed about Apex and Cary, not to like put Apex down in this category because I really like Apex, but there's not a lot of local spots here. Like I feel like Apex has grown really quickly, and so when you're like looking for restaurants and stuff like that, it does feel a little more chain, which isn't like a bad thing necessarily. I like a lot of chain places, but when I'm thinking of like, oh, I want to go out on a date night or meet friends for dinner or something, I don't really want to go to like Olive Garden. I'd rather like find like a local spot.
We never meet friends for dinner.
Yeah, we never have time for that in our lives, but you know, if I did, you know, I want to go somewhere like kind of cool and different and unique, and I feel like Apex doesn't have as much of that. If you live in Apex, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me all of the fun restaurants downtown. But when like you're in Durham or Raleigh,
there are some downtown. I'd say that's like the few.
Yeah, a few. But when you're like in Durham or Raleigh, it's like a plethora of like really cool foodie spots. So like foodie wise, and Cary's not a ton better than Apex, but I feel like they do have a little more of the local scene than maybe Apex does. But there's a little bit of it, but not as much as you're gonna find in a bigger city like Durham or Raleigh. So as far as housing goes, kind of the differences between the two, you know, you have slightly different price points and a lot of differences in like the neighborhood styles in general. You know, in Apex, I feel like our average built year is going to be a lot newer. I think in the last year, you're looking at like 2009.
average year bill in Cary is 1997. So a little over a decade worth of difference in the two.
Yeah, for sure. And when you're driving around, you can definitely feel that. I think when you're in Apex, when you're driving around, with the homes feel a lot newer.
Yep.
And there's still a lot of new construction, not as much as there has been in the past, but there's still a lot of new construction going on here that you don't see as much of in Cary. Cary still has some new construction options, but what's out there feels much more like luxury market, whereas in Apex you're seeing more just kind of typical subdivisions. I don't want to use the word cookie cutter in a bad way, but more of that kind of going on here. There's some of that in Cary too, but that's going to be some of the major difference. But both, like Zach said, have very amenity heavy neighborhoods, which is really fun. If you're coming here with kids and stuff, to have access to greenway trails within the neighborhood, pools, nice playgrounds, just right there in the community, really sets Cary and Apex apart from what you can find in Durham or Raleigh. That's not found in Durham or Raleigh, but it's just it feels like every neighborhood has it here.
It does, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're gonna declare our winner. He said, she said, which is better, Apex or Cary?
Yep.
Which one would you rather live in? Before that, if this video has been helpful to you in any way, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. We put out videos like this on a weekly basis, so we'd love for you to follow along. Yeah,
every Thursday night.
Every Thursday at 7.
Join in.
Tune in. But yeah. He said, she said.
You go first.
Oh, I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Oh, okay.
Ladies
oh,
first.
Man. It's hard for me because I really like things about both. I really like things about both. For me, I think I'd probably pick Cary, only because it's closer into Raleigh, so a shorter commute if you're needing to get into RTP or Raleigh, and it just feels a little bit more of an established community, in my opinion, and a little bit more of parks. But the parks that are in Apex are amazing and giant and awesome, so it's not like there's not a lot of parks here or that it's super far away. I just think for it being about the same price, I'd probably pick Cary.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Apex, not because Cindy picked Cary, but because I think so. Obviously, the price points are somewhat similar, right? The average in Cary $750, the average in Apex $736. There's not a big difference. I think where it gets a little more nuanced is, and it's hard to put data behind this, but if you're looking at a $750 house in Cary and a $750 house in Apex, chances are, this isn't 100%, chances are the one in Apex is a little more move-in ready. It's a little more updated. And so that's just what I've noticed looking through the MLS, is what I've noticed through showings. I think what you can get for $750 in Apex is going to feel better in a lot of cases than what you can get in Cary. So
yeah, for sure, because I feel like in Apex you definitely are going to get probably more square footage in a newer house, so it does feel like you're probably not going to put money into it necessarily. Whereas in Cary it might have more character from the outside and more convenience in the neighborhood, or more trees and stuff, but it might have a 90s feel to it.
Exactly. Yeah. You almost got blown away by the wind.
I know. I'm going to fly
away. It's
away.
Unbelievably windy.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, we appreciate you watching. We do videos like this on a weekly basis, like Cindy said. You can find our contact info below. If you're looking to buy or sell, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. And you can reach out to us that way, or you can find us on Instagram. Yeah, we'd love to have you follow along with us on Instagram at the Honeycutt Realtors, or our website, Honeycutt. It's so cold, it's hard to talk. HoneycuttTeam.com. So we'd love to see you next week. See you next time.